Morning students. Today we are going to discuss a new topic, control and coordination. So, under control and coordination concept, we are going to discuss about how the plants and animals are going to responding towards the changing of the environment. So, for the purpose of the changing environment, the way of response that is giving respond, how the organisms like plants and animals are responding towards to the changing in environmental conditions. That is we are going to discuss. Under this concept, we are discussing about the plant hormones and also the nervous system in human beings and endocrine system in human beings. That is in animals. That is we are going to discuss under the control and coordination. So, if you observe, so any form of the factor that is whatever it is going to be changing in our environmental condition or any organism is giving response and reacting towards it. So that kind of whatever it is affecting to us, that is we can call as stimuli. So what it is called? Stimuli. So as we know that organism is responding towards to certain change that is occurring in the environment. So whatever the change is occurred, that is brought by stimuli. So what is stimuli? So stimuli is nothing but an immediate change in environment or environmental factors that is responded by the organisms and react, and what it is called is stimuli. So what is stimuli is nothing but an immediate change in environment or environmental factor in which organisms are responding and reacting towards it is called as stimuli. So this stimuli is of in different ways which induces to give response. For example, like environmental factors, sunlight. Light also you have seen, which is one of the stimuli that causes to give the response towards it. For example, when light is passed onto our eyes, what is happening here? Immediately we are closing eyes. That is, light is one of the stimuli, and closing our eyes, that is a response which we have given. That is what we can see that light is one of the stimuli. And also we can see that sound. So on any occasion or during any celebrations, we have seen that bursting crackers. So when you feel the sound is disturbing to us, or when the sound you feel as irritating to us, immediately what we are doing? We are closing our ears. The closing ears is the response which we have given. And crackers bursting sound which is called as stimuli. That is what the stimuli. Sound also one of the stimuli that brings the response in our body. And also we will see that sight. By seeing, that is vision also one of the factor of stimuli. Taste. Taste also one of the factor that brings or induces the response. For example, if you observe lemon or if you observe the tamarind, what happens? Immediately the salivation is occurring in our mouth. That is, saliva production is going to be occur. So seeing or observing the lemon or tamarind is the seeing, and tamarind or lemon is the stimuli, and salivation or saliva secretion is response. This is what you can see. Taste also one of the response. stimuli. Touch. Touch also one of the stimuli. If you touch cold object, we remove our hand. If you touch very hot object, that time also immediately we will remove our hand. That is the touch also one of the stimuli that induces us to give response towards it. That is what we can call stimuli. In this way, animals are giving response towards these some of the factors or environmental factors that causes animals to respond towards it. See here, the response which is given by the animals, they follow different method to give the response towards this stimuli. For example, if you take plants, the plants are able to give the response towards this stimuli in the form of the growth. So the growth is one of the form of the response which is given by the plant. For example, animals are we are the animals. So if we touch a hot object, suddenly we will remove our hand. That removing of the hand, what it is called? Response. Hardness of the object is called stimuli. That is hardness or coldness, whatever it is. If you touch, that induces us, that makes us to respond to remove our hand. This is one way in which we can see the response given by the animals. And simple organisms like amoeba. So amoeba also shows a kind of response towards to the stimuli. For example, if it is moving towards the food particles, what is happening here? It starts engulfing the food particles, it takes inside. That is, the food is inducing the response to give by the amoeba. This is what we can see that different organisms are following different methods to show the response towards to the stimuli. That is, we can call as one of the reaction towards to changing in the environmental condition. See here, to give the response, what is happening here? Organisms like us, we have developed like multicellular organisms. They have developed different organ system which helps them to coordinate and bring the changes which is occurred. That is, gives the response which is changing in the surroundings. If you observe the animals and also plants, plants are also able to give the response towards the stimuli. But when compared to the animals, plants are not responding immediately compared with the animals, because of plants are not having the system of controlling like brain and nervous system. That is not present in plants. So the plants are responding towards the stimuli but very slowly. But here animals are giving response immediately towards the stimuli because they have the system of controlled by the brain and the nervous system. See here, whatever it is, the response which is given by the animals because of internal changes that are bringing and external changes also causing us to give the response. If you observe in case of higher organisms, the internal changes is called by means of control and coordination. So how it is called? The internal changes in higher organism, especially in case of animals, is induced or caused by the control or coordination of various organ system. That is causes to give the response. That is what it is called, control and coordination. Control and coordination. So what is control and coordination? So control and coordination is nothing but the various organs of an organism, they work together in systematic manner to produce response to the stimuli. That is called as control and coordination. So they themselves are coordinated and giving response to the stimuli. That what it is called, control and coordination. So what is control and coordination is nothing but in higher organisms, various organs are working together in systematic manner. How they are? Works together in systematic manner, in regulated, in proper manner. And they produces the response to the stimuli and gives the response and react. That what it is called as control and coordination. What it is called? Control and coordination. So this control and coordination is brought in organisms by means of various organ systems working together. For example, in higher organisms like animals, in our body, for control and coordination, we have developed the brain, nerve cells, endocrine system, and these all are playing a key role in coordination with the muscular system that brings the coordination. That is what we can see. So, in higher organisms, in animals, what is happening here? The control and coordination. So, the controlling of our response is carried out by the brain and nervous system and also endocrine system. So, these all are coordinated with the muscular system that helps in response towards the stimuli. So, for the control and coordination, so what is happening here? Endocrine system, nervous system, which are coordinated with the muscular system to induce the response towards the stimuli. That is what you can see. The control and coordination is followed by endocrine system, nervous system and muscular system. All these three works together and brings the response towards the changing in the immediate surroundings. See, in plants there is no nervous system as well as there is no any muscular system, but they possess a chemical coordination. So, in case of plants, what they are consisting of? Chemical coordination. So, this chemical coordination is going to occur in case of plants. So, the chemical coordination is occurring in the plants, which is totally different from the animals. As we know that, so due to the lack of nervous system, the plants are not responding immediately, which is occurring very slowly. However, it is occurring the response, whether immediately responding or slow responding. But the plants are also able to respond towards to the internal stimuli as well as external stimuli. That is internal factor, also external factor that are playing a key role in plants to give the response towards to the stimuli. So here for the coordination in case of plants is because of due to the chemical coordination. The chemical coordination is playing a key role in case of plants. So these chemicals which are produced by the plants are called as plant hormones or phytohormones. These chemicals what they are called? Phytohormone or plant hormones. That induces to give the response to the stimuli. See, the plant hormones, they are giving the response to the stimuli based mainly in two ways. So, what are that? The plants are going to be affecting the growth of the plants. That causes the movement towards. That is one of the movement in also one of the response given by the plant. So, the phytohormones or plant hormones which are inducing in plants to give response, that response is given, that is effect is given in two ways. So, one is affect in growth. The growth is indices in movement of the plant. That is one of the response, and also affecting size of the cell. So the size of the cell, how it is going to be changing? This is because of the size of the cell is one of the externally movement of the water inside or movement of the water to the outside. That is external or internal movement. What is happening here? The increasing in size or decreasing in size of the cell that causes in movement. That is also one of the response given. For example, if the water is entered into the cell, as we know that the cell size will be increasing, that is cell will be swelling. If the water is losing from the cell is shrinks. That is one. So the plant hormones which are produced in plants, they give the response for both the external stimuli as well as internal stimuli. So whatever it is the stimuli that is responded by the plants, that is causes to give the response very slowly when compared to the animals. So immediately we can't find the response which is shown by the plant. In this way, we can see that the control and coordination which is occurring in plants and animals, that helps them to protect themselves. Environmental factors, whatever the change is occurring, from all these conditions, what is happening here? They themselves protect. For any bad weather condition is occurring, or any predators or enemies are reaching, or if it is sudden rains, or if it is very hot, or if it is storms, whatever it is, sudden change occurring from all the bad conditions of organism from its surroundings or in its environment, helps it to protect. In this way, the control and coordination is playing a key role in plants and animals to protect themselves. Next class we will discuss about plants, how they are giving response.